Tensions are high at the Northwest University's Mahikeng campus. University management has asked police to deploy its tactical response team to strengthen security at the campus. Students have shut down the institution as part of the South African University Student Union's call for a 7-day national shutdown. Protesting students are demanding universities address issues of historical debt and accommodation. On Tuesday, management announced it was closing the university and instructed students to vacate the premises. Many are still occupying residences. The university says some staff members have been prevented from getting to work.
Reinforced security so that they can now come and assist to clear the gate. We just need students to get out of the gate and stop the intimidation. And for that now, it is very obvious that you need much stronger force.
To our reporter, Sentleng Lehihi, who's standing by for us in Mahikeng. Sentleng, what's the environment like where you are?
Good day to you and our viewers. Most certainly, the momentum of the national shutdown is going very strong here at the Northwest University's Mahikeng campus. We saw earlier this morning a large contingency of, security personnel, being brought here to actually try to bring some sort of calm and peace to the campus. But contrary to what the report that has been issued by the Northwest University management, students say there have been no incidents of violence or intimidation. However, we did see earlier some staff members being refused entry, and when we spoke to some of the student leaders there, they said that it is up to staff to actually stand together in unity with students and ensure that they too, collaborate with them in fighting, what the students need. There being particularly their 15 demands, including no fees for registration, dealing with historical debt of, the missing middle students, and also talking about the dire need of accommodation for over 90% of the students of the school who are still struggling to find accommodation, particularly because accommodation funding will not be provided by NSFAS if the said accommodation is not adequately accredited. But to contextualize the experience of these students here, we're going to speak to one of them. Can you kindly tell us your name and how you as a student have been affected by the 15 pointers that have been mentioned in the demands?
My name is Tuso Mulifi. It's said that we fight not against flesh and blood, but a system that is created to maintain and keep the status quo to the rich and the poor becoming poorer. What the 15 demands is saying that I'm affected by only 4 of them, of which I will mention 2 that are directly affecting me, which is registration for postgraduate. As it is, I'm a candidate for honors. However, it is not realized that I would be registering on time, or if ever I will even be able to register, because funding is really a problem. And as it is, NRF is not doing enough. Currently, it has not responded to any of us in our campuses for postgraduate studies. And the 1-year accommodation loan is still an issue, because as it is, most Kolomona, there is not enough accreditation for accommodation, and that comes as a threat to my safety, and not only me as a student, but all of us as Northwest University students are affected by that.
Now, the academic year is bound to begin next week. The other campuses have, continued with the registration. Are you not worried because, with the academic year standing, you're clearly way behind?
That is not a problem. It is not an issue. If management cannot come down to our level and come to negotiate, then why should we worry? Because they're not worried themselves about the academic year and the frustration that's come with it.
How do you feel about the contingency of security that has been sent here?
It's sad because people have been manhandled from early hours of the morning, where we were denied of accessing the gate, where we wanted to stand and sing as populace of Northwest University. And security, as it is Nuyan, they can realize that we are just peaceful students who are just waiting for our demands to be met, and who are waiting for negotiation to take place so that we can go back to business as normal and operations should start.
Thank you very much for your time. Indeed, from what she shared with us, we have in a few hours ago seen, the securities that have been deployed here walk freely in the premises and not really have any altercation with students. It seems that their presence here has been, welcome and tolerated by students who say that they have no violent intent, but to, keep up and catch up with deliberations between management and student representatives. We're joined by one of the student representatives here. Can you tell us, you've been having ongoing deliberations with management and the Department of Higher Education. How are those deliberations so far, but kindly give us your full name and capacity.
My name is Paseka Malete. I'm the current chairperson of SASCO and speaking on behalf of PYA, this campus. Yesterday we've managed to make trends of speaking to management. They promised to say we are going to meet at 2. And at 2 we waited and they did never even show up or issue out any communication. However, we met the communication or statement by the management saying that all the staff members must report to duty and they are short of safety. But we saw earlier on in the morning when we woke up that there is a lot of securities with guns and bouncers for that matter. In the morning they wanted to manhandle us. They've done it. There are videos roaming around social media where we were manhandled and they wanted they even became violent with us. And we thought those ones are going to shoot because we know that they've been given a mandate of coming to shoot at us because apparently we are not listening, apparently we are violent, apparently we are burning down the buildings. We are just met with the arrogance of the management. We are trying to get hold of them, we are trying to speak to them, but they don't want to come down to us. But they rather send violent security guards, bouncers, and those with guns to us. So it means we are faced with arrogant management, unlike those of UFs. You know that in UFs that their management with the SRC and the student leaders have agreed on terms of lease and outstanding balances. But with our management, things are different. Yes, school is continuing next week in Porsche and Val, but they are not facing the same problems as ours. For example, I can make an example that we have about this year 12,500 students and only the rooms that are on campus are about 3,000. What does it say about proportionality and demographics? It means a lot of our students are staying off campus and majority of them are even staying in non-accredited residences. So as the minister, when you pull away lease agreement, where are you saying the students must live? Because those students are living in places I'm even ashamed to mention them, Dibat and Mutlabi, and those students survive only on NSFAS because as a student when you apply for NSFAS and you get approved, you don't have money to stay in any place. So the lease agreement must come back. The issue of historical debt, students must register because from last week, since the online registration has been opened, our students has been returned from this very same campus that they cannot register when they're having outstanding balances. Even though we saw that in the past days, minister pronounced that they must register. So we are faced with arrogant management that not even want to engage with students. We only see them in media. We only see them through statements.
While your demands are well and clear, in our previous engagement with the Vice Chancellor, he said that the security had been deployed here because staff members were restricted entry. Why are you restricting staff members entry?
We are restricting them entry because we are on a shutdown. So the shutdown means the university must not function until our demands are met. How can the university function whereas we are denied access? A black child is being denied access. They cannot even access the university because of historical debt, because of lease agreement. I can make an example. The VC was here in an SABC interview saying that all the students who have been applied for NSFAS and perhaps having on their side the admission letter, they can go ahead and register. Immediately after he left, those students were returned back home. After he said that together with himself and minister, perhaps they are having those talks in private, we don't know. But those first tests were returned, those first tests are with us here. They are sleeping in the lecture rooms there because they have nowhere to go. So the VC communicated that, but we found something different. Those students were returned, they could not register. Those ones with historical debt, they could not register. The bursary of postgraduate has been retracted. We don't know what is happening with the management. They're not engaging anyone. I can make an example again. They've managed to do accreditation rules. They've not even engaged the SRC on the rules. So we are surprised to see these kind of things by our management. We thought our VC, by getting his second term, we're going to get things easier. We're going to engage. He's going to be more engageable. We can find solutions to get. But he's showing us that he cannot engage. He rather send these violent bouncers. He can rather send these security guards to shoot at us. And it's even surprising that our off-campus student, I can even tell the ratio, you can even go to police station. Every day we are having more than 10 students who are marked every day. And our security our campus can hire security to come and shoot at us, but they cannot hire security to extend their scope to help those students with patrolling and going to their residences, seeing to it that they are safe. So we are having management that cannot work with students, but not care about money than anything else.
Thank you for your time, Paseka. It is clear from those sentiments. It remains to be seen what amicable solution will be brought to actually calm this impasse. For now, back to you in studio.
Thanks very much, Sentleng, for that. Eskom said